All right, history is set to be made this coming Sunday when over 30,000 runners are expected to take part in the 25th edition of the Soweto Marathon. President Cyril Ramaphosa will be one of the participants. Well, I believe he'll be walking. I'm not really sure, not doubting the president's capabilities, of course. At the same time, the tickets for one of the hardest races, the Comrades Marathon, were taken up in less than 5 days. So what is it that seems to be attracting ordinary people into these marathons or road running lately? Up next, we speak to Shamanga Ilunga, an athlete from the Fat Cats Athletics Club. Thank you so much for coming through. I thought you would come in your shorts and you'd be showing off your legs and showing us your leg game, but you came this way, Shamanga. Let's get straight into it. I mean, the Comrades Marathon entries were taken up in 5 days. This is extraordinary. Why do you think that is? Why is running growing as a sport?
Well, thank you very much for that. I think one of the things that you need to realize, lately in South Africa, at least over the last couple of years, there is this big drive towards this healthy lifestyle. And people are more conscious about their health. And they actually seem to realize that running is possibly one of the only things that provide them that type of healthy lifestyle that allows them to do certain activities with the kids, with the family, in a particular environment that's a little bit more friendly, where they could actually enjoy, having to spend a little bit of time on the road and at the same time just, try to see if they can maintain a healthy lifestyle. So as far as we're concerned, running has taken up, a storm over the last couple of years, specifically because of that. It is a very social thing, to do these days, and it helps in terms of your health as well. And
how accessible is it? I mean, the running shoes are not cheap, I can tell you that now, but in comparison with other sports that you could be doing, how accessible is it in terms of getting the licenses to run and also being able to enter these marathons?
Sure. If you do not belong to a particular club, for example, I belong to the Fat Cats Athletics Club. We normally have a yearly fee that will allow you to take care of any type of registration with CGA, which is a Central Gauteng Athletics organization. But even a normal runner who does not necessarily belong to a club will pay 30 Rand, for example, to get one of these temporary licenses to go and run a particular race, whether it is a 5-kilometer park run, even for that matter. I'm sure you've heard that there's a lot of initiatives out there where to get families to run out to walk on weekends, specifically on Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings. We have what you call park run. So it's just a 5-kilometer trot, literally, sometimes at the zoo, sometimes in a park, and that's why, they've dubbed them as those. So as far as shoes are concerned, it's only those that really take this particular sport seriously that will really go out there and invest. It is a little bit of an investment. You invest in your health, you invest into, doing all the right things for you. It's exactly the same thing, the same way that we have to take this.
But now, Shamanga, as the popularity of the sport is growing, there's a concerning development where sponsorship seems to be sort of going down. The Pick and Pay Marathon, that's going to change. It's going to be called something else now. That sponsorship seems to be gone. And Soweto Marathon, we saw recently Old Mutual taking some key decisions on which races they're going to continue to sponsor. How worried are you about that?
Very worried, because we know that we always used to have what you call the Big Four, the Big Five races, which Old Mutual used to sponsor. We're very worried about the fact that when you do not have the right level of sponsorship behind some of these big races, that it loses a lot of its quality. When I talk about quality in the races, water, for example, that's provided at the races, although every participant pays an entrance fee, it's never always seemed to be enough to be able to cater in terms of water, coke, food, and so forth. Because those that run longer marathon or longer races understand that there is a requirement to actually replenish over the race. So we are very worried about that, but we also understand that with the current economic situation within the country, a lot of the organizations are really looking at where they could potentially save some costs.
How helpful will it be to have President Cyril Ramaphosa either running or walking? I really don't know. Well, hopefully in those signature socks of his that became popular earlier on in the year. How helpful will it be? Because I ask this as a serious question.
Sure.
Many people are grappling with the issue of how do I take charge of my health and fitness?
That's correct.
Someone who's watching at home. Yes. What would be your pitch to say watch on Sunday and then decide what?
Yeah, well, watch on Sunday and decide that even the person who holds the highest office in the country can actually, he's worried about his health and therefore decides to go out there and be active. because that's really what it is about. So the biggest message that the president is bringing about, as far as, him participating, is to actually encourage South Africans out there to say, if I can do it and I can find the time to go and have a trot for 10 kilometers, spend an hour on the road, I'm sure that, all of us can pretty much, get out there and do something and be active and be healthy. Because he actually needs a very healthy nation in order to drive this economy forward in any case.